mesiafo no so ye harass me for or ye true papa ye harass me for you are being you are nini and shed and the mother no but besiano open one way or the other open but who can obe father obey the mother nti or there or ye also so be an insane na atum na no nka bi wa ochia umpa dem signal bi na what the ones and na musem nka na no zo no o ka ho bi nti I think the sexual harassment and it comes in different ways to say
madam awo akoye counselor what GS no oba no sexual harassment with schools na or common.
Okay, so when we schools there on shada anya common we send one nyema ehu okay ehu there onya no open space nti ehu na yen shada so nti bi wo area ha aha na oyade okodo na times so ebu owo a teacher na oye onimu po aha but sisi na ode ye mu hu there the sexual harassment no oyade okodo bi a students na don sa to queen aso numu ana de ni reading komo de obi oye penni obandadama ama abofra no feel comfortable ehun sexual harassment no many people feel comfortable ehun na oye so no ama nipa ni yem ahye no oluko school nim de ba obi simple say obosomumu ana do obeye bibi otidem to oma moframa no obandadama they don't feel comfortable and to me feel that this is the time when your school so nkotin edwuma bebre okodo bia oti computer won ye edwuma besia na benin wa akobutu nechi aye do no ro share computer no oye part of sexual harassment it's part of it yeah
ebu o ho today me MC ara me producer ona me madam am the we did you make this strong ko de aboa hen na mo ebu o ho na so de boa na o de baby a o twa de eben no
okay
ono so ne sexual harassment no incident
okay no on America the sexual harassment no ya adwen no motive no
otechi
no ebi on oroko ho no oroko de wo kohwe eyi but oka ho so far as ebutu no that times o ma adwen ya asase da adwen na lamba but okodo abu da adwen no na adwen senipa ko na adwen da wona ba na ji eretwe na adwen e de akodo no ya de a osi wo bebi obi o wa na wa aso besia no ni shoulder ordinary can some was on the shoulder. Oh, now I don't know. No, I said, I do all Bunutu. Eh, the men your man na. And said you ever need to know. The men your man, and men back no feel comfortable. Oh, my coffee baby, walk with you, they don't feel comfortable. They are not happy. On them there, one or con there. The may direct and the minute to obey my dear Otterdam. No most often so see while bra imbalance of power. It would be a be position and nipan one or so whatever. It is all of men and China, obe take advantage. And you obotu where you ready. Obotu where you ready.
You find there a branch beer or your national service away, you mean? Na ne madam be
yes,
when they and then
but on to me so can't.
America there a branch because most of times why in Ketesia and the boss be but Obanam Rantian yam boss ladies now make Canada
boss ladies now
aya yentant
yentant teacher there at times no benin no nya them privilege no pay enwa ono bia no pay nti ono nka mo biara anya den onti na mo menyen mesi amana bia na no owoni bia orbo wara no na wo boss epede e make the me attempt no nti no ono kwale popo kaka kire benin besi oye besi aboye faithful no kwale popo kaka kire ne friend there mo kweda ma boss odi yemini but benin ba ono residu ba na ebi oni hwe opedwuma ye na ebi a boss lady no onam da ma de lady nti boss lady no botum wa maniska o mama no so dey twitwa no de we did the old baby or there or men but it's not the right thing or don't who there or your sexual harassment obotum wa report
it is sexual harassment to them madam American in fact or ya dia o sha say nyen right from the Bible you be hu Potiphar and they Joseph. My name is MC in the Bible with them or the actual drama.
Joseph.
Na Joseph and when I am the yehu the ostati but Joseph na owe ngwan bi wonu munti ono de ogwane I don't know how one me ma ya ba ye bitum aye ye betim ye gwane ma menko Jemima hona me bisa eye besiaba no how do you identify the or sexual harassment because Madam Rekasa no odumre bi a nipa no oni adwembone bi bibi and I find that menjina ye na me ho kobo in fact manantewa endomu no mesa kobo besia baby ni baby in fact I felt very bad and mama catch na me sorry
yes
ebu oso a wo sa kobo no baby akoka no hu omba but how as besia ba no aba advances na every day or sexual harassment.
Okay, into that make no regarding say be born na unintentionally or born na okay sorry me that one I think the person didn't do it intentionally but if you are nyange feel gadochi or say I would say be me which and then muscle wonderful oh no there meanwhile so me your girlfriend until that person you will see there this is what the person wants to do. If you saw that your verbal one, if my phone would help me, I will show you a verbal message someone sent me.
Hey.
Yes, the person sent me like now you're eating come oh he started like I think I love you and I'm so you love me. No, yes, I think you I'm so no. I don't think that you love me. You might maybe I love no yeah, I saw in India. And also until later on he came back and was like I will say like if I get you like I will not spare you. Into those kind of words and know that this person in on your like or no baby on your day into verbal one on the moon that this person meanwhile I'm not your girlfriend even that this person wants to do this into your verbal one or no nipani or no baby or no wo and na verbal one into that this person wants to do this to you or this person doesn't want or unintentionally more and 1 year or better sorry but if you are new pa this is what today my me no mess me and see say that
okay so madam aware a counseling have you had cases do nkofo wenya titru mesiama wenya akokodu ne de ma papa ye me ma irabe ye me mentu anamon ko counselor no ho nkofo wodom ahode ne wetimu aba wonche na ono abe share problems wokum in terms of sexual harassment.
That's it. Esha mo from no one said that one year aware of the men in your sexual harassment no. But say so no mu na so nie ya abofana nka se feel da no eso ye papa aso mu onye bibia o de beyem nti ye nemu ye gbe mo from no wona nwa ye ne mo from na kasa this will be on your door robo another or so sabi win fan or chedo pede onu ye bibi nti mo from no de ye gbe wona adwenem but me she da nya obi mfa da me case ni bi so far me nya da me case ni bi there obi asonu mu another why bibi da ebi o why you but mo from na ngase wonim there or your sexual harassment enwa sisi ani o de ye gbe mo from no so wona nwa nti me ne mo ko school sa manema from an kasa they would make action or they are very careful.
Yeah, share effects on morphomani titru. Even a how and on one come.
Say sexual harassment no okwe enima na abofra no ebi obenya wana adwenem the okay say me papa ye bibia obama miska another obama bibi to ma was starting sexual life no but starting and ni effect no e would abofra no nim ne da achi da ma bi obokọ ha ebi won na aka sorry ye no nim de meanwhile so ye bi ebenyinsan na wo school no so aye den wabo nti ni effect kese pan de obotro from na akọ sexual habit no mu wa bra na number so nya den onso nti o wono de ode ye hwe pa ode ye hwe sanda o ya de orokodo wo edwuma bebre mu but on ye na sadame nyama no rokodo a nimpa na de ye no oni ebia ebe edwuma ma ehu opposite sex na ato no ho na hagen ebia wono na adwene mu no ofide bia edon mesiafo bebre ye dama ta ye dama wona adwene no aye na adwene bia pe na asam mi wana epede use ni na enu to baby nti ode education okodo papa ama nkofo wate ase na weguan efidama adam ye menyinfo no so ode wate ase nye besie nyina na wire den woso numu anade onya wo so far as onya wo no emi bomo dama da don't feel comfortable
so the best form of intia should be that you be shaking hands and that is all
on a day then most of we sim na me chi o de even don't know the oil normal most of we sim na me chi normal na ebo wo kwa chapra otum wo ye da me hagen no ono adwenu what dream na reach out there the man na you know
as part of fellowship in the
fellowship but on no still or sexual harassment we send the say
Romans 16:16 crap Bible so fan fia no kron enchichia wo ho
into sexual harassment in the day you pa we send the country do wa e the madam kwansha we dwuma hwehwe to the Australia no na ade no we dwuma hwehwe oye den but Ghana ha no policy no do da me eyi na e da wo miem but oye watch no what I action no
is it because they today make no bebrina intime emba out and make na me bi saw me si afopo ne wonto memba na menyfo
oye yan culture no so ka ho enyama bi oye fa na trada de you onya she nti me si afo no de moncha amom de obi an report it
okay
that case ni bi
me call empress I think me share bibia one thing Oma dodo na into me report it through oye mesi amane de ebi wo ho a ekuro na otim no papa bi epede osese no papa na friend no wasoma no na orokwa na wabo no na okeka nsem bi e report ma awofo na kanwanu tum afra born the mother no growing up society na ewo mu no parent no what contributed to sexual harassment
okay okay, with my partner, I didn't face me share the mother be as growing up with my parents. So then, my didn't when I went to stay with my cousin, someone wanted to take advantage of me, but very fortunate someone. But staying with my mom at Otopo or my family at Otopo, no, I don't know. It depends on how you are brought up. It depends on how you are brought up. Paying or feral, especially when they know your family. They're okay, Mr. Ando neba. No, Mr. Ando is a no-go area. In Tibin fine neba. See, the way I carry on, the way you carry yourself and so no, Oma, it needs a neba. For me, I didn't face those things, but I know people who have been going through those things that that this person is taking advantage of them, this person is taking advantage of them, especially with paying for now. What year I accept you are in Ghana. Now, I think that say the parents and Nerube Munsa or the church or from one day. I think that say maybe them kodo if someone or a grown-up person or the mother on one year the mother and they be or the person wants to take advantage of them or the woman up and the way woman now what this is what has been happening I think the education should say yeah my parents and no and the young mama from most raise more from once
you on China so you go to schools so our university sex for grade. How is it common at our university campus?
Okay, sex for grade. I heard those stories in other universities, and I was like, very fortunate with my school, Unimark. Yes, this is Unimark. Very for University of Media, Art and Communication, Institute of Journalism. No, meant to be that. Because the lecturers would force you to read, to learn. Na itum wankasa itra. Other universities then they might be that, but with the Unimark, no minti bida and I think Mr. Afa one angasa woko me amu there be say angasa no was no honko because be say she doesn't want to learn because university so yeah there you always have to read you also like you always have to read inti say ensua ono na ebe ko there lecturer and they be as a lecturer no ka there morning unye bibi na ansa na ma grade you know your person you know yourself there amede musua there motwa nti me fa mo hu ma lecturer na metu my then I'm great nti for other universities in the what I have been hearing allegedly on mention and need fact bia but with my school University of Media Arts and Communication Institute of Journalism I don't know mean tibida and I don't pray to see that thing there too nti say besia na lecturer kade mame nyunye bibi ansana metu mama great now great enya GPA na akoso nti a graduate etu ma be ka first class for no one sister no it's a no suade na university for the moon there it's something like academic ebia first semester second semester until the JHS and the primary okay this term no you go for first term this second term they mention that semester no and whatever more as IA and they be at end of semester exams until say it's not from this year you would pass well and say that is it.
Okay, call Mrs. Texan do not channel sorry for this particular discussion. No. Going forward, eben kwan na yebitum ya fado na yes social harassment na no kwan. Titu ewo schools yendwume.
Yo, madase. Wo yene edwume na ade no de yema wo hu de sexual harassment no nye especially de yene nyane yade kan programs no ho dance and obi ba be dwuma na da wo ye orientation na yema wanya aware the sexual harassment no or no go area no chede ni pakuna lo be dwuma no onim da ma da no onye na yema wo hu action na or sexual harassment no there nsusum eboso nipa no mu ebobo ni baby especially with the opposite sex no say ye da ma me feel there education or work on na ye ba no nyane education side no so mo from no dey start there ye no one rekasa or ya dey wo ye no SS or social studies until ya dey mo from na binum wanim binum so ho a wanim but one shed down hu e kono offer do banti na wa ma until dey nya ye train mo from na ye no mo from no ye no one kasa. It is how many them go round in schools and we make sure them and number for man may educate one. Ne biom so or find them parents no or they number for man ka say you ma won who dance benin also woman no so ye ya or cheddar or pede onya wa or no baby bibi. Ne biom so ya mama for man won who there erko benin nchan wa bra na ankoti shedem no so ya another case. Makai da me more for dream. And I'm sister Otton at the market na enubri no be butter the 20 way na pan enubri na niscan one so no kedo man kwana mananonko na menkaji scan no kembra na muduru one ni pa kuni da no wo so kakra nti muduru one was bra dem na baji scan am sa me mamba mon for so scan fire dan bra nti oye do ba na Trump na mu gwana obi na sa your pom sister needing there I wouldn't na adene nye nti no better am say no anya dem am for so na onya ma de nti I me no I do or you training na ma me de amam de be si aban ko be nyini de mu abra na ankoten owo nti no che da am be nim da mo robo mo ho ban but ono so na adwene mu de adwene bi adwene ni ti ma ada amana me de se na adwene nti ono ye mama foma no wo hu da menwa man se yenya ye ma wo babesi aba awe retain say wo babesi aba eye benyin eye besia oye they be train abo from and they onye very careful Sunday at times on them sexual harassment do abo for be sex wa bra onye den onim onya aware no dey improvanyinsa no dey aden or dey abante one do is serious say ye ode ye nyina ye di ni ye didi echi anya da ma obede ahochel or the bebrain.
Okay, auntie on a Mrs. Bernardine Texan, or guidance and counseling coordinator for GES, Hunter West, on Nasem and what train you maybe, madam? I think they actually yet time young, now you didn't come over bread. Actually, time you didn't come. Men call Empress War now, minty, the last words on this one. I better foot to Nedbema, Miss Yama Waraba.
Okay, into mama kind there say be say I'm when you under not be determined because being the I mean if I'm kind of being the oh no being na when you send that Emma who can be no yin send one there or show you funa wo school no be catch you
but I don't know be
our being no be day natural way I bet if you be 9 months about after no nya be 2 years another 3 years and say e to market okay no chemu school na them years ni na e waste no cry enti ma wenu enda ho and na parents no so no parents ankasa so am me e parents na e wo ba besia man twen mo routine mpo am enya 10 na ya ashas e be sure there benin these are some of the things that benin ya or sure that he wants to take advances of you even young men in manu supono or the young yen one kasa because men for we rape one but because they in our society being can or better that oh yes slow na no count Muslims ya fun oya yetum kan nti I think the yema yenenu anda ho when you na mesi afo men yenenu they won yin determined na bibia be kan
Mr. Tyson sorry do all last words
yo zamba kind dambre Mrs. Starkan woma yeneni under one na obetse sexual harassment na ase de benyino besiu ama obere ye ni biara na ntatam nana waka kire na maame anada waka kire papa na obi a onenete mbaka biem su da bofo biem we hu da ma action ni bi no momo nsuro do baba out obaba abaka ama yenso da ma ode ye wo no yetu ya ama wenka wie ne de ode yinsan ode bebre no da ma na my sister kan say besia yinsan a awo mom na wo school no oba kefu ba benin ne de oba continue akọ school nti yamma mesi ama no woneni da ho parents o me yentu ya no moframa no fo na ye kan che won woneni da ho ama wankọ ohawa oye emprawanyinsan no
na rebisa there before I be saw the crowd wo a Hunter West ankasa situation it then age in school see and students need the inkita situation wa Hunter West then
situation wa Hunter West no sexual harassment no na America de mention da obi fa reports mfam bram ebi am of man ankasa they are not aware of
okay and I think
this is no or
sensitization education
or the your medication or kodo more am from no are aware of am bibi ni a wa reporting them not
the fear of stigmatization coming out there member there's something that I want you to put in much energy
and more from no tell me a catch on this so be when bibi no one pa one bomb na one bra one come out especially with the guidance and counseling yamebu wa yende neti okay baba catch ma enye da memma nkofo we hu da da ma de no record but muso mo kwa na mafada mini ni pakono ya bakasa na interventions bi wo ho a mene no baka no che de muso ho atan ya da no continue a otumo de ade foforo ade bone ode ba enti mo foma no mamo ate ase da wo baka chama menya asam no go mpo cha ate menya no go but mini ni pakono bi di no che de bibiara wa da no kwanu
Auntie Mrs. Bernardine Texan na no pay na to together with Jemima Ando. In fact, we've had a fruitful discussion in Nanope. Yehu how sexual harassment, you know, or fadoba. Kwan so ye betum na ye say yehu dem ma ye betum ye fi or sexual harassment. Yen ka that is a criminal offense. And he say benyimba u besiaba na say obi de bibi or ti dem radio na ehu de on fa no kwando a ti dem waka kire hen no they are baby o ha ye betum ye de akọ na yakobo na amane first you start with our parent if you na say on kodo social warfare wo ho even akọ education service for one aso ya maame wo ho na bibia wo bia no opanyi bia na otwa de ka wasem chana obeboa ho no I'm sure yentum yenye dem na yenyi dom nyoma ni na ifo ma ese wasem
mpocho biom so school bia or guidance and counseling coordinator.
Okay.
School bia or guidance and counseling coordinator nti bibi ne yema mo from no won come an nchan na wan kasa e obi be a friend no confidentiality e baka chen na onya ade a yebdo botu gua but you make sure that we will deal with the case nti mama mo from no won suru
anti mama mo from no suru ono na me mama American and I think personally me peer to peer counselor I think
fine.
And sometimes you share more from man and some be brave or hope the brenano won't team one bar out one bar bekasa and nyoma be brave kodo if you film so you now for no I'm sure we should create an enabling environment for young of man to get closer to us the ibu wa I've wanted dinner no share some or can some now or nti oma ehu shem of manuma se bibi recordo e wo mfifia wo ntumenka I've seen one thing about parenting and most parents no say abof be shas na so kasa bibria what say one year abof be umbuade obe okasa in fact we should build a system and an environment where mofuma no they can come out with everything one kasa enwa na ye no if a voice serious kakra e kasa kakra pe wo se buade nti oma ye kamofuma ne hye ma bibi wo ha wontim ya beda wase na ya srede to no bomodena na ona yentiti na yendi nkomo bebre na ye indicate mofoma no youth no na going forward no yenso yetum yetu anomopa betum waboan anope ya da wase
so me da wase pa de aframa ma bada ma adwuneti usande mofoma bebre wore bre wodam situation nti ya da ase.
So you are still watching West Coast Morning on West Coast TV. We are transmitting live from Aguna Kwanta inside the ADB building. In fact, we are going for a quick break. When we return, course was answered together with Jemima Andor will sit with me. Then we'll go through the various stories making the headlines of the newspaper. Stay with us.
Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emu eni akokɔ nam a anusu odedia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi foods. Edidi rice. Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emo ene akokɔ nam a anuso odadia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi Foods. Edidi Rice. Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emo ene akokɔ nam a anuso odadia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi Foods. Edidi Rice. Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emo ene akokɔ nam a anuso odadia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi Foods. Edidi Rice. Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emo ene akokɔ nam a anuso odadia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi Foods. Edidi Rice. Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods, Edidi Foods. Bidi adi enim ado. Ekuafo hine na meka say. Si eba no emo ene akokɔ nam a anuso odadia. De magia tum na medi efi Edidi Foods. Edidi Rice.
Okay, so welcome back. You are still live on West Coast Morning on West Coast TV. We are transmitting live from Agona Enquanta in the ADB building. Comment, like, and share. Get interactive. Na yena yendi enkomo. Cosmos and Sat na from Damaso and Jemima Ando Adahon ete ha. Now we'll be looking through the various newspapers and stories that will make it the headline. Na the atiado work you made do. So Cosmos why radio Empress the Madame Meneno Ewaha. Cosmos Abokoye.
Oh, Yamazia Abimela.
The Bella Bokoa.
You're ready to do one year. Work it, definitely.
Okay. The mama make Malaman or working. I don't have to ask you care the Bella. I don't care everything is war.
Yeah, but the blood fine.
The blood fine. I want to take us through the various stories more. A headline in the various newspapers.
Okay, until yes, started with the grandpapa of all the newspapers. That is a Daily Graphic. It says Ghana has too many districts. It's counterproductive. Professor Ahoy warns. Professor Ahoy, Emma, ke Ghana ye districts. It is too much. And see that is what Professor Ahoy is saying. Get Fund disburses 4.3 billion to support educational activities. Okay, 52,492 SHS placement cases resolved. And there were some challenges in the.
But I think 52,492 SHS placement cases resolved. I think this placement issue, see, year in, year out, Belani, issues. We've not had a system more resolve these issues once and for all.
I don't know if my memory the correct, but this computerized placement somewhere 2005. Until from 2005 up to 2025, that is 20 years down the line. Can't you just get placement, especially issue correct once and for all going forward there? Basically, how many?
52,000.
Had it not been it being resolved, then may I show him be a poor come by resolve you more than 52,000. Scam by resolved 52,000. Until 52,000. Yeah, the placement issue or Kenya. No crap. Is it that go schooly can't we get this placement then?
And every year, the centers more GS be critical, very resolve placement issues. He says, I'm sure we need to find tune.
Say Olome because just imagine a Hunter West killer pool. See a many more issues with bed placement, but line up and they should converge at one place here. You can just imagine the number of Mababa. Akoye Melima Elembele. Kofrea evaluate. Then those other places. In the moment, I seriously don't watch or on national. But you are cry. I become video better from that place because I know definitely it's going to be very chaotic. The whole of the western region, I came in more issues with the schools. But yeah, why you come up office and I can GS be regional office for there. How would the place be like? Now Ghana, the whole Ghana, and you see, I mean, you me away. Say even a biwa I'm gonna do. Need a problem with a placement. I can care what GS office work and local. You prefer ke your call national ke believe in ke bioka national ya bakwa cause of be ba bakamaya. In terms of ebioka decentralization egazi, but hamza ya adwene ne. The sort of decentralization me a date and they how much they are supposed to be.
So there's another story on page 13 that says Get Fund disburses at 4.3 billion to support educational activities. Now let me say that, in fact, there are a lot of uncompleted projects in most of our schools, and Mamaka West Coast TV will just take it upon ourselves. We'll be visiting institutions, schools, hospitals, and other institutions, and look out for these uncompleted projects and share them with you. Now, let me start with Bedibonso Senior High Technical School. There is a boys' dormitory more for so many years. I don't know when they are going to complete this project. But if Get Fund has released this amount, 4.3 billion, please, so that now the schools this year, GS has rolled around 90 something plus schools for single track. They are looking up as we move on. All the schools will leave the double track system. And so now we have more or less like level system where this level stays at home, another level will be in school, because we can't accommodate all the students. Go to some of these schools and you have accommodation problem. But some schools also have uncompleted project more. I think this government promised to ensure that all uncompleted projects will be completed. And I'm saying that I'm bringing to the notice of the municipal assembly here in Ahanta West that get to Bedibonso and find out there's an uncompleted boys dormitory. The dormitory is about 90% complete. So I don't know what is happening, but we'll find out what is really happening, that we can't just add the 10%, hand it over to the school so that we provide enough accommodation for these young ones. The 4 months will be joining us or will be coming just next month. And in fact, we just need to look at some of these things. So I'm happy to see Get Fund releasing this huge sums of money to support educational activities. So definitely we should have a share.
Okay. All right. So your draws roll with Delhi Guide. Delhi Guide more so ye clear. You say GS fires Randy assistant headmaster. I'm story. More headmaster be suspended by ye working more one discuss sexual harassment. And see that is the story on Daily Guide front page. Yeah, Kolibu acting CEO to pay 113,000 judgment debt. And Daily Guide is Baumia Haruna lead NPP NDC race. That is the Daily Guide.
Okay, so I'm sure this is the story that we have had extensive discussion on, where DGS fires the assistant headmaster for fondling student breast. In fact, I must say,
was he fondling or he just placed his hands there?
No, but
his palm.
What was the palm doing there?
He just placed his palm there. His palm.
But fondling,
I'm sure there's no academic activity that required a teacher placing a sign even on the breast of a student.
So the issue is whether care in me or if I say that it's inappropriate.
Exactly.
Okay.
If your newspaper here, they were playing with words and around words,
but you see, the whole thing is that, in fact, some of these things are prohibited in the service. But I say the kind of mokramo we are having they are too dangerous.
I hold the same opinion. But you see, Abani di Abani, if you're put in a certain position, no matter go cry, you should ban make a yearly. You should uphold certain level of integrity, because if many more at the Abani at the caretaker, we are not putting you there as a predictor. You are a caretaker. You need to make sure can cry whatever they are doing, whether care the babu, you are the one to streamline the subaning to make them proper human beings into the society.
Was he aware? Can I get you to a picture?
It's even if he's not aware, but mommy, maybe it can fair.
But the way it's like he agreed to do this with the girl. More out because a picture like he was looking straight into the camera.
And most of these things, they video them thinking care no matter what, it cannot get out.
The trust me,
I doubt I'll ever trust a bee. Example, left, never right people. I don't trust them equal.
Right, serious.
My mom, they am fake. Say I aware I am fake. You are out. Emma be long care. This what a year of school care. And you see, there are a lot of schools more. Those things are happening there. You can hang a crab there. Be said to coffee cooler. Kusu fulani ne atu bomane so fule. But then in this instance teacher DM ye can high case kadara kokura die guidance and counseling ma ba school car ye boko ka ha ke my but if it call happening teacher will have a higher consequence more than kokura die, because we expect teacher and need to know better
by the serious moment.
Oh yes.
And say Baumia Haruna lead MPP NDC race. Okay,
so this is coming from I think global info analysis. Be survey be conducting. They say Yedibenya Haruna Jusu. I'm so surprised with this one. For NPP, Yezike Yedibenya Baumia. He has been the one who has been leading the analysis and the survey more they've done. For some time now, he has been the one lead. Just that a popularity was right but Haruna Jusu, I don't see Mami Mikra NDC as a party. No, if you should put Haruna Jusu in as you drink it,
Julius
Debra, I will, as a person, I'll put Haruna Jusu behind as in the third person.
So who will you go for?
With popularity, as you drink it, that is to Mami how I see things. But you cannot downplay your data and statistics. One more back and care. Maybe you can drink cause
But I think over the period on our screens we've seen I see doing Ketia more together with Julius Debra as compared to Haruna. I think for Haruna, as you said, Haruna is much concentrated on the job as the minister for education. But for as you didn't get here, the thank you to and other staff.
So I listened to Musa Dampa. He said, Haruna because among men more, but Beduma wallet is more Haruna la years on solar. So if you take 10 people from the north who are part of the people conducting the survey as in respondents, about 9 of them will go for Haruna Idris.
Oh, okay.
As compared to Menmo about South, Menmo Hemu about South. Above family may or South take 10 years. So
it might split.
Some will go for I say drink it, some will go for Julius Debra. If you are going forward, and when you streamline, some of the candidates are dropping off. Create a Nella, Eaha, Miniasa, Julius, Haruna Drusini, I say drink it. I say drink it, Haruna, I say drink it, Julius. Monobakaba, South, a year. They will not be sharing it with plenty people. Until a kind of popularity so. Abuse ye from the north, the person will also be sharing respondents mobile or not vote, like a vote, you will be sharing with Haruna Edrison tea. Mentimo because ordinarily I find this as a party
But I think I saw Ato Forson's name in
okay. New just that may woman dollar crown.
I see. But
and I was so surprised to hear people call him Keva Bodume so
really?
Oh yes, he said it. He said Ato Forson he was asked how he come by the names. Then he said, "Okay, the many be utterances. Ebioka eka a make deduction from your utterance ya your president here said ni be duma hanamo. It's a be more ele kan hwe that you afraid mele at forcing. Me ele kan ele buko ni mele kan the bela mobile make deduction from me. Yes, also ele afraid bela kan ka be duma hanamo, but mo be duma hanamo because of the economy mainly. You can't get camp a election e bela it towards economy me do more be na be zaide me it surely anything we interest and any interest will. And I was so surprised to hear be more free me some point from Duma Canal.
Okay, so with mention names new Asante Hima election bela new Asante Hima Zulu Moyelombe Beya until they will be naming the name this week. Another name until say remember say Yama Yasha for so but yeah for Daily Post. Daily Post say
Emperor Tatibola answer na call Daily Post. See this means you attend Kenya. You more especially a kind of man you should have interest in this thing because me can say because a Ghana kia scamper men mobile project your culture and your identity your elements one demand in the man de men you know be from a yele bali wule I am so happy seeing some of these things and scampala woman wuli I doubt assessment say you but you need clear ma but la people will agenda
succession plan.
Yes, proper succession plan. This is the most important female was one the man the kingdom the most important female see I can be your second in command was one the man the kingdom you in less than 6 months but you the black clear but within this week and by the end of next week next person back. Then you ask yourself, can same be said about Amir Yekize?
I don't.
Yeah, some of on the mind, be traditional identity, be culture and idea. I always bring it down to K, and I encourage your traditional leaders to learn a lot from Swande Mind. They be be you're going a small community with Dikro, me a hard cabe, so Benny me hard cabe, Tiame me hard cabe. Afanamo show one son and Banya, Tiame follow a busy agenda. It is until we need to learn a lot from Swande Mind. I as a pandia, see a career BCD Nizola.
Okay, until your whole Daily Post area. Daily Post, yes, started with the I say we began the year with many challenges, but we've been able to steady the tide. Finance Minister tells international.
But someone should remind the Finance Minister the city, the way the city appreciated. I'm sure there are some sort of fluctuations when Scapula Eba, Scapula city. Young was the back and yes, but how more? But you need and that astronomical appreciation.
Mamma, how much a shim? I was seriously expecting a shim rise.
But the rise hasn't been.
Made an economist and okay, also be macro, micro. Cosmos, sometimes I seriously don't want to hear. Because I strongly believe the economy by.
It's felt in your pocket.
Micro, macro, by.
But city whole as a cranny. I appreciate it cranny.
You didn't see it in the market. You didn't feel it.
I didn't feel it.
Appreciation is just on paper against the
Angel, nothing was happening on the
market.
In fact, I chanced on a video on Facebook yesterday. And there's this guy, I believe a client donation, he happens to be from the north.
Okay.
And he was making an argument. I think he's a maize farmer.
Okay.
And his argument was that before the president assumed office, they were buying it like a bag around 1,000 cedis. Now they are buying the bag somewhere 400, 500 cedis.
From them.
No, they are now they are buying it from them.
Okay.
They used to sell it around 1,000.
Okay.
And was telling us that you could make like 200,000 from Ujumameye.
Okay.
This time around, he's unable to make Ozo a so the government, the president, some warning and threats. Be careful what they were doing. But this guy was making an argument. But if you listen to Guy Kwanzaa, you realize that he was trying also to say, okay, he doesn't have much problem with reduction. However, if he goes to the market, previously it turned some number of bags that you could buy abuboya and moto from them. Now the same bags, he cannot buy this moto from them. So the problem is that even though the prices have been reduced, the other items were market is also prices still remain the same.
But you see, question more than can buy like Madintimo ne first about 2 it's a 1,000. Scam about 400. But I'm a cut from the market. Yet they're almost the same.
The same.
So that is the argument. That's the argument the guy was making. That after selling, I take the money to the market, and the value of the money.
Right. Mampo dia akake e word on e eco market. Mammy say, e dia more first and button. E may say scamper. It is right. It is from 1,000 to 400. Scamper time and about 1,000. How money at all market? Scamper about 400 from him. Yet they're almost the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's because of minimum. Mommy, I've said the average Ghanaian is a greedy person. I've said this and I'll keep on saying this. It's like your greediness. When they be a car, yeah, point to care, you couldn't be greedy. But if I'm a car, sometimes need business
to explain and defend.
How do you buy the bay some few years ago 1,000 from a beef, and then you buy that same thing from a beef 400?
Still
reducing nukune purchasing powers and nukuni call market. But more, after back, I'm here how much toy. Before money after 1,000, this come from after 400. It's almost the same thing.
My no mangala near crammy.
Nearly appreciate it. Find nearly appreciate it. Near Puko. Coffee a phone for me. The barely appreciate it. But a coffee maker is a scamper by the 0.8.
And say, what Facebook, then let me share with you some comments from our viewers. This one is coming from Samuel Kojo and it says, but do we have those things happening in schools in Ahanta West? I kindly ask Madam Bernardine, for me, what is the situation in Ahanta West? I'm sure Madam Riley answered those questions that Ogodo na or pro schools or Ahanta West. Some of Kojo Brace is asking in relation to the sexual harassment discussion that we had earlier. Edmond Bright, so one man salute to how say great job, guys. How many times up? Hodamaso and Emmanuel Intifo. Senior Pintolo, also some parents push their girls to the big boys in society just because of small financial support. Pintolo, support the financial support they are small.
Should you even term that as a financial support? They take care of almost they say the bill may happen, but let's support it low. I think you should have an expression for it.
Oh yes.
So
yes.
It cannot be supported. If you okay, bro, English man, say John anymore. You should look out.
I think
for an expression for that.
like as I indicated, peer-to-peer counseling coordinator. So I had a chat with one female student who was like, it's not easy because ne papa and to the extent that ne papa ne busuafo no pu another ne papa na yankofo no anytime obe try there obe bisa bibi kakra o won hopo no na opede won ne bibi answer na wa support no. So this issue of financial support and there is not easy. And abrabonu me yede no do baby you just you anything
so like even if they want to help that one, I think that one is a discussion on its own. Even if they would like to help, yeah, unless care they will demand okay,
and they will say one good thing deserves another. Pintolo again he says it may be happening here but because we haven't caught them they will say no. So we need to catch them before they confess that indeed it is happening. In fact, there are a lot that are happening.
But I think they come on Madam Honey. Madam say they report. Yeah, but about reporting the money. She's not discarding the
So I think we need to encourage ourselves. We need to encourage the young ones to be bold.
Yeah, line, especially SHS teachers and minimum
JHS
and as she said, most schools the guidance and counseling unit. But I'm saying that this unit should create an enabling environment for the kids to approach them.
Yes, it's true. Madam Bemo manage that unit.
Sometimes the way
it gestures ya smile po yeah.
It makes it difficult for these young ones to get closer. To get closer.
Yeah, it could also mean be report to school but yeah, mammy
yes, sometimes it will yes, but sometimes even the SHS, the student will confine it some teachers.
Yes.
Leaving the unit aside. Yes. So I'm thinking the unit should provide this enabling environment, especially the leaders or the head.
6 months, 4 months more, we will leave school simply because of national service. Just 6 months. There'll be a 6 months to September to March. They may do 6 months. Keke, mela, keke. The kind of Ndukoma can do one soon from crying. Especially it's a bed, there'll be more, they are so friendly around you. There are a lot happening. And they come and Madam Honey, mele, but happening there, man. It happened with Brilla.
Okay.
Yeah, to our road, yeah. Daily Post, young K said ADF have co-host high profile fundraising gala in New York. And see, that is it. Your whole daily dispatch, the dispatch, latest info analytics posing, so yearly formally discussing now. He clicked Dr. Baumia was 47%, Kennedy Japan was 17%, Birani Champon has 3%, Dr. Edichum has 1%.
But my back kind of percentage cover. Okay. Okay.
Daily dispatch, the dispatch. And the undecided, many more, but decidedly care. Okay, more can I come walking, most more 31%. Yeklan most of the point we say only President Mahama can determine who becomes NDC's 2028 flag bearer. Only President Mahama can determine who becomes NDC's 2028 flag bearer. This is Mustafa Gbande.
How?
Mustafa Gbande is talking.
Community. Hey, say, make what decide be make what president. Yeah, to some extent, I agree because a performance
is flag bearer.
Okay. President. Yeah,
but if he can decide who becomes the president from the
not from this as a person, decision as in NPP ni say D and NDC ni say because a performance
oh yeah, imagine the same way he can also decide who one way the other can become the leader for their party.
But it depends. NDC is also as a party. They victored him. Rollins, and was it is Bioka, Mahama time, President Mahama time, other period election. They say they are going to the time more, they care how more Rollins could hold Mercy, sir. And say NDC is that's the argument and I care because I don't get how much Kampala mo Ghana me on NDC me okay Kampala.
I think there are different ways of determining the business because as the president we are in the first year of the 4 years. The next 3 years president can make sure he position people at certain areas more. He can project them to the masses with ease. You see, sometimes the position that you are given counts a lot.
Yes.
What you are doing counts a lot. There are certain positions. So we're here when someone was made like we see we're here when we had a ministerial position here in Ahanta West. People were saying, oh, that's not the one that has the spotlight.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. Imagine you are being made energy minister, the finance minister, lands, areas education. Where every day now these areas can make and or make you.
But world demand. You do have no education.
Yes.
Mammy, there be one page you can when Baba Wally education and Nimkunu too. Can't get the aura there like. You many were education because of
free senior high school.
So to keep your car. Electrical upholding how more the last administration yelling.
And in fact, if things doesn't work well to it will destroy you.
Oh yes.
But if things get better, now look at over the last 6-7 months, the name that was all over was Ato is forcing. So Ato forcing was all over. And with education, if a Harvard education is able to put in
minister more news in the
exactly
because of issues of
galamsey. So if he's able to excel and in fact work hard, not say galamsey issues, you fire bar the Kakuma Ghana okay, yeah, I'm sure you'll be in a poor position for some of this. So the president, one way or the other, can influence who becomes the leader for the NDC.
Okay, the Chronicle. The Chronicle is who told lies about missing ECG containers. This is a question mark. Who told lies about missing ECG containers? MD confirms all of them have been found at the port. Oh, okay. All right. The archives. The archives also a capture.
Mpachibola, answer alcohol, the archive, there's a story more be read. My daily dose you say Bukum tragedy, Nigerian boxers' death could have been prevented. That is I'm your neighbors all the time. They are boxing or Ghana killer. Maybe we made in a boxing ring in blue hole there, I'm told there is a committee member settle up more they should look into the issue be mobile and up to date. I think the issue happened somewhere February this year. After this time, you need the bra from the committee. You know, as Rama Ghana need you were boxing. If all you do, me tip come, mukunu kame, me yeze, ma Ghana boxing. That's what they have the Kelly. Just imagine Nigeria need ADA, but for certain ye need be. Report it, but very legitimate. Me sure can definitely report it. Proper report, but I say recommendation on when you need so but value out, but value recommendations in and they very legitimate. Come give me the care. I'm say you need my boxing. Say equal pay be okay. You do a other boxing incident. There are issues of boxers and like boxing matches happening in Accra, Bukum. More Dr. Belane ringside. There are a lot of allegations as in boxers more by bubble boxing if you okay mama no more ayo street ni muane mama so me yenti never buy wo gina boxing ring in care without any proper cover structures bo follow ke o ka akoye I way in akoye medical checker but yeah a lot of those things near ba match ma ke wo and it's likely going to be one of the reasons Timo your brother must we had the kebe. The mommy, I keep on saying, my name is Danny. If you are not careful, now you take almost everything for granted. You don't take your safety, your security in your own hands. That's how they be taking care. There should be structures in place taking care of you. So what crab you with and I could it can come in could be simply because why extremely careful. The Empress.
Okay, the archives. The archives is a massive rot uncovered in Baumia, good for oil deal. Okay, and see GS issue muscle by capture. Daybreak. Daybreak say Mahama sued over police council appointment. Cause there's a story.
They sue Mahama over
police council appointment. Okay, and Muhammad Dubik also is say he is glad no ECG container was missing.
This is a former MD.
Yeah. Yeah, called Daily Searchlight.
So I think if indeed there are no containers missing our portal, minimum value should be out first. We need to question them because also it could also be indeed maybe many Gale baba back here. So you should look into this issue very well. Is it that many baby ye be dimabo tobacco document in boy ba man force alarm ke copper containers be mini and ke containers indeed be mini ye baba abuse and baba custom make some dubious means be baba containers ba gwaket okonya. What is what exactly? I think in case killer okay more.
Okay, into your daily searchlight. Daily searchlight yes say Mohammed's a prior statement cannot rewrite the MPP constitution. This is Kweku and no Date. That is AS who is speaking. And Mohammed's corrupt oral lands in Supreme Court. That is also what the Daily Searchlight has captured. But I should capture GES issue also okay. That is it. I think we should.
Okay. In fact, my laba say Cosmos Ansa and Jemima Empress Ando. My laba say no one ke back na mo. Na yetimi the newspapers no na podo ye de Ebrehon. I'm sure we've had a fruitful day this morning. We started with Honorable Joseph Kwam, where we delved much into DSTV reduction, the new arrangement between DSTV and the Ministry of Communication. The Mason and Mrs. Bernardine Texan was here with us together with Jemima, where we also looked at the recent issue that happened at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, SHS, where the assistant headmaster academic has been removed from the office as the assistant headmaster following a viral video on a baby and a student in the be worried the GS so the onset and fata now under naquem. And lastly, the guys joined me where we looked at the various stories making the headlines of the various newspapers. In another pay, Menda was there a coming home. Now, you to me a did no, ye na ye de abedu dam pempedo. Before I leave, my mention comment a cry, ne biena wabeka and sat now, menel and share. Roland Asari also just imagine a schoolgirl saying that is the best form of relationship. At the moment, the students themselves are really interested in such relationship. I'm sure Roland Asari, I don't know what I say or experience be another. He has laid hand on any info being recorded, but some of these things are recorded. I remember my service days at one of the senior high school. The student told me there, oh, so but this one is normal. If you're best school, you are my teacher when we go home. You are my guy. I was alarmed. I said, wow. And this student went ahead to pinpoint certain students in their class and the relationship that they had with some teachers and gave me a caveat there. What I said. Anytime your teacher no our class or be free rabbi or be share this particular lady no idol or smano. And in fact, what the student told me, no, not being pepe. These are some of the things are recorded, but as Cosmos Answer said, we should show professionalism in what we do. And these are young ones. And sometimes they might be naive, and we need to guide them and support them. They need some sort of emotional support when it gets to the AGBL one abrabum. As American, we engage Mrs. Bernardine Texan on some of these issues. Thank you for being part of this wonderful show. This is West Coast Morning here, and this is West Coast TV. We are transmitting live from Agona and Kwanta, ADB Abronsan Nodo. Epede any Indian Sawado na any Juma Yanabono Webwe. Actually, screen no do a numbers literally egu. Just pick the numbers. Na friend ni mo bia. Yebetum yeno edi nkomo. Na ya bo wejuma adibi area pede bo hu de wo no. We are here to support you. Na wejuma song wakodo. Or you can just walk to our studios and you meet our marketing staff no. Na obetum wono edi nkomo. Yere so refredi oya yame pa ochina yebehia same time ewo ahade ya na yetum ya de bibia ya de abro ya da wase wo sa na wo data na de bia e de ehwe yakopon share na like comment na share Antie can be a bishia, Yamabua, Yadas, Yakram.
Anda West Coast, anda mazedi edio, marmo Costa Morning show, Yugazule, unumane bre, bawazi, debie, maye belane bomod na fuazon, chiamamie, keke bebe kwa witmoya ya chichidie nanda West Coast TV moya ke buake. Ya kanda buake mo, maye belane wonmo. Mane West Coast TV, yebeli anda on come. Na kudebie, maye belane unumane fuazo bene mie, na yebeba omo, na yebihiri mane kameso yediara. Yebwe asanka yebua anda bua kama bua anda la West Coast TV bra bawaze beli anda on komo anda ekane yazwa anda West Coast anda mazedi edio marmo Costa Morning show yegwazule onumane bre bawaze debie maye belane bomod na fuazon chiamamie keke bebe kwa witmoya ya chichidie nanda West Coast TV moya ke buake ya kanda